Morning. We have heard the introduction from Mark about a very comprehensive, broad conception of geopolitical issues, and we learned a lot from Vivian's speech as well. So now it comes to us to have a short discussion about how can we come it back to our company, talking about how can we secure a sustainable business within our supply chain risk mitigation strategy. Okay, so I suppose everybody already know Mark and Vivian, so I would like Victor, can you please introduce yourself?
Sure, thank you. My name is Victor Bai. I'm the president of the International Association of Emergency Managers and Nature Council, and currently running several organizations here, including the international NGOs and consultant firms. And in the very beginning, I was the emergency manager and security manager at Intel Asia Pacific and R&D Center. And that is part of the initiation of the TAPA in the 1990s. And later on transferred to the international organizations, and later on moving to the United Nations for the UNSDR, and consultant for the ILO, TRP, and later on the United States as a training officer, focused on the disaster risk reduction, government electronics, and information technologies, those type of things. And right now, I'm still in the emergency management field, and as a consultant for the local government and for some other NGOs in here in China.
Okay, thank you, Victor. And I suppose I have not introduced myself yet, right? So about myself. Okay, I'm Felix. I suppose I'm one of the guy who joined TAPA quite in early stage. Actually, I joined TAPA back in year 2002 when I worked for Intel, right? Victor and I, we were both from Intel before, okay. And I've been in high-tech business, supply chain, and also automotive, and now in retail business. I've been in supply chain security for over 11 years, so I have a lot of former colleagues here in this conference as well. So I've been helping TAPA mainly in the training development and also standard development. So I'm glad that I can host this, moderate this discussion, okay? And here comes the question. Actually, we've got some questions from, before the conference, we collect some questions from some of our members. So it comes, the first is, as we've talked about geopolitical issues and a lot of risks, so what are the key indicators or signals that business should monitor to anticipate potential disruption in their supply chain due to geopolitical factor? And how can they effectively respond to these signals in a timely manner? As this has been mentioned by Mark a lot, so I would give this question to Mark first. Okay.
Thanks for that. So yes, monitor key forums such as the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum provides a very comprehensive suite of intelligence products. They've got an intelligence utility on there. Then you've got Transportation Asset Protection Association itself, which again provides a whole heap of intelligence based on technical aspects of supply chain protection. But in terms of the geopolitical action, also make sure that you observe what events are occurring at the central geopolitical space, i.e., what are the United Nations, what's their doctrine, what conferences are they holding and for what purpose, what has been their main output, and what are the 5-year strategic plans for the future given from those organizations. So I sat in at the Sustainable Stock Exchange Initiative, which was held under the World Investment Forum over in Abu Dhabi. in the United Arab Emirates, precursor to COP28. There, it was stated that all members that were, so the Sustainable Stock Exchange Initiative has stock exchanges sat upon it. Those stock exchanges, of which there are 100 and odd sat on the Sustainable Stock Exchange Initiative, have all decided and ratified that they must, they now must implore and mandate the organisations that sit under them as corporates that are publicly listed to file environmental sustainability reports and ESG reporting as well under every scope, including scope 3 as well, alongside a whole host of different reporting metrics. So I'd implore you to go online to see that and to see what is actually involved in that, because that'll come top down to you that are involved in the supply chain mechanism.
Thank you, Mark. So, Vivian, do you have any comments on that?
Okay, thank you for asking. And actually, I think working as a risk management person, and you should be very sensitive. This sensitive is not only to the to the internal conflict issues, but also to the but also to the outside world. And in this case, actually, I think several indicators you should pay more attention to. The first is on global political issues and what are happening globally, like protest, like elections, and other similar issues. And beside that, you should be paying more attention to the economic issues and also trade agreements. So actually, for everything happened recently, and even before, because you can take it as a history, you must be pay more attention to, and about how to react to the supply chain trends. Actually, I think it is most important to create a system, to create a monitoring system. And this monitoring system will help you to collect enough information for you to make judgment. For example, if there's some supply chain disruption, if there's some emergency which will be happened to the region that your company based. So yes, I think with the effective monitoring system, and you can help to deal with that issues. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivian. Actually, talk about you mentioned about some kind of trends, and I'm glad that you lead to the second question here. So, given many emerging trends in geopolitics and their potential impact on supply chain management, brand protection, ESG, and more, what do you think are the top 3 trends and opportunities you would recommend companies to focus on? So can I give this question to Victor first?
Well, this is a big question. Looking at the trends, there's a lot of that. If you see top 3, I'm not quite sure. Probably we're looking at the sustainability, and we're looking at the strategy first. So we're going to have some diversification. We have some resilience over there on supply chain. That's pretty critical right now. And looking at your strategy level, in the Chinese world, so you can't put all the eggs in the same basket. You need to have some redundancy. You have alternative. You need to have some planning B in advance, and it will be in the strategy level. Not only the tactical, you need to prepare it in advance. And you will also have some critical preparation on the tactical level as well, get readiness and prepare for the response. And you will have some capability to handle the recovery as well. So that is what we say resilience. In second one, I will see pay attention to right now we see ESG or sustainability isn't getting more critical right now, whatever in Europe or here in China, even though the criteria or some professional standards may be different. But this is also a very crucial trend for both sides, even in the trade war, this environmental. We're still looking at ESG is getting very important nowadays. It's not only put your company a better reputation worldwide, it also can impact for the value of stock, impact to your capability to survive on this market. It's getting more severe on that. And it is potentially impact to your value in the future in case we got some carbon tradings or whatever. You know, it's a lot of things. I think Mark mentioned quantum computer in the earlier time. Maybe you can use that and leverage that. And that will be my third topic. See the technology and especially what we see, the artificial intelligence, blockchain chains, or maybe quantum computing, whatever. To get investment on those technologies is very important. And it's started booming in the AI last year. It's changed everything. And we're looking at so many data before, and now we have some patterns. Now we have some power to calculate, use a DNA or some other algorithm. So we find a pattern. It also can leverage what Vivian said earlier. We got some method to see if we can get more accurate. And that really helps for us to see what we cannot see before. It's change play roles. So in an end-to-end supply chain, we must enable to forget any single point which is a potential risk source. So we got a new threat and also facing the more serious risk, especially after COVID-19 today. And you're looking at the price of the shipment, you never imagined that before the COVID. And if you have a quantum computing, I'm not sure if we can get that before the 2019. Hope so. So that will be a significant trend for us and also can be a challenge for everyone as well.
Thank you, Victor. So Mark, do you have anything to add on?
Yeah, as I stated during my presentation, Victor's very right in this, is that quantum technology as a whole can enable us to be able to progress further. Our base process as humans is to replicate the physical. Okay, our key process is that we've got opposable thumbs. We weren't made to sit and administer and to create these processes that are in place that human beings have created at the moment. We're there to defend against nature and oncoming threats and to protect our loved ones. Okay, that's our main duty. And in that, AI technology can work out the kinks and future predict processes that are going to occur within the next 50, 100 years that we can then cope with physically and design and build things that are right for us to have sustainable lifestyles and to be able to engage with the planet in a little bit of a better way than we've been doing over the past 200 years, 300 years since the Industrial Revolution. So yes, I would agree with Victor and some of my previous comments and Vivian's as well. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Good. Now we are going to the third question. In what ways can company integrate resilience into their supply chain management practices to address both geopolitical risks and security challenges effectively? So Vivian, do you have any idea on that?
Okay, thank you. I'm thinking. So actually, firstly, I think never put all eggs into one basket. Actually, currently, we are talking more about the supply chain. Sorry, I forgot.
Supply chain management practices.
Yes or not? So what I mean is, we should source more and more components from different regions rather than from just one locations, because as you know, we have the greatly changed with our political issues, and now we have, how to say, we have the challenging time, and the political issues actually is turned, it's very hard. So if you just put the eggs into one basket, actually it will give a lot of burden to your supply chain in a supply chain area. So this is the first I want to say, never put all eggs into one basket. And second, I think you should enhance the supply chain visibility. As we have more and more new technologies and IT technologies. Actually, we should increase and enhance the visibility, like the shipment, like the supply chain disruption, and everything around the supply chain. We should use the technology so we can see it before something had happened. So I think these 2 points I want to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivian. So, Mark and Victor, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I agree with Vivian. That's in my experience in past 20 years in emergency management, emergency operation, I can see many ways to get this integration happen, but I got feeling that no shortcut on this way. So you see, the better practice and could be a very systematic approach to get this done. For example, you have a system which combined with the risk assessment, the business impact analyze on those business continuity measure together with your core business analyze. And training, testing, get your BCP down, everything down for your supply chain and your core business as well. Let me see this way. See, if I got some threatened, I want to protect myself, I need to have a weapon, whatever, rifle, pistol. But I need to practice on that before I really shooting someone try to kill me. And finally, I need to have a bullet. So if we do have this system, now we have a real weapon that protect ourselves. The problem is, how can we get this ready? If you just have one bullet, it doesn't work at all. You need to have this weapon system to protect yourself effectively. And you need to practice and make sure it's really can shoot at that point that you really get some threat become a risk. So I would like to suggest that in the strategic level, you can combine this way in top-down designing whatever technology or your management skill together with your strategy planning and put everything together. And once you have this system robustic, you can leverage it to handle all kinds of different threats and risk. And because even though it's countless and risk and coming surrounding you in the future, it's still coming to a limit impacts to your core business to our supply chain, to whatever you care, even your family, yourself. So you focus on those impacts and get your system or as your weapon system as a tool to handle that, to eliminate all those impacts and make everything with limited resource, but it's a practice can be realized. So that will be my thinking, that you can have this systematic approach to get your system ready before it really happens something bad.
Okay, thank you, Victor. So if I can sum up for you guys, and if I understand correctly, I think when we talk about sustainability in the supply chain is about how can we build a kind of system from the monitoring the information, the trends, and also the quick response, as well as pre-program the plan to respond to those issues, and how we can get those resources. When we talk about resources, about our partnership with different size and the resources, so we can help our company to handle those issues, which we can ensure the resilience of our business, right? Okay, so do we have any other question from the audience here? If no, I have one personal question to you guys, okay? Just give you a surprise. Well, you know, after the years of COVID, and when we're approaching those international conflicts in Middle East, in Europe, we can see all those news in almost everything. So do you think, or do you find the company management is considering the resilience of supply chain of the business is more important than before? How do you feel? Or make it more clearer. Do we, like our security experts in the company, can we get more resource of more efforts or support from the senior leaders in our job?
Yes. As a board member, it's all about return on investment. And if you're not able to get your goods to market, if you're not get your services to market, then there's no return on investment. It's as simple as that. So I'd always want to see a securitized chain. I'd always want to make sure that we're not entering into contracts that could possibly come and bite us with sanctions, that we're dealing with countries that we can do within the framework of the country that the business is based in. If we're based here in China, we can deal with countries differently to what you can in Europe, the Middle East, the US. So I would say from my side, somebody that is involved in those processes and decisions, then yes, without a singular doubt, supply chain means everything.
Thank you, Mark.
Remember, previously it has words in globalization, and now talking about some new words later. And in China, I think it's a big wave trade. You see our board business right now, but whatever is a format of trading. And to do this in business, you need to survive on the market. And right now, the supply chain is very core of that. So it's not only about a core business and can be impact to the survive on this market or not. So these days, I think this is really impact to your business model, to your survival on this market. So I can see nothing be important more than that. And you can leverage this and to whatever your senior leaders, your board members, even the local government leaders will pay attention on that, because this really changed the economic. So I know many security managers being involved in business continuity already, and nowadays in the supply chain or some other very core business impact in there. So security manager is no longer only a physical security manager, and they pay a lot of attention on these days.
Thank you, Victor. So Vivian, actually we are too now in a kind of retail business that we are facing retail customer directly. And may not be that geopolitical related, but we're facing the public nowadays. What do you think about that?
Yes, actually, it's like the speech I gave today. It's not only about the risk of supply chain, but also the risk of the whole company. So actually, crisis happened a lot around the world, especially in the recent 10 years. And we can see that in the future, the crisis will become more and more and will not be decreased, I think. So actually, as a risk management person, we can see it. But the question is, if our senior leadership team, they can see it. This is a key point. And because of the situation is getting worse, so actually senior leadership team, they put more efforts on the business growth, on the earning money. they will actually for the money spending, they will they will think, wow, you spend my money. I just want to earn money. But to create like a monetary system, risk management monetary system, or to deal with some management crisis, you should spend money, right? So you are not should be only one soldier. You should net your leader, senior leadership team, to see the better situation and tell him the situation will not getting better, maybe getting worse. So I think this is the most important thing for a risk management person to do. And second, I think you don't need not only picture to him, but also you should provide strong evidence. Like what I said, you should have your system, you should tell the story with data. Not only use your experience, because your experience maybe it could be used now, but not in the future. And your line manager will believe in just your experience. So using data and using a new technology to create the system to help you to convince your senior manager to invest you and to invest your team. So that's my suggestion. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It's a pity that we don't have enough time to discuss more because we still have more topics to talk. And we'll see that the sustainability is kind of more important topic in our daily business now. And as a director of board from TAPA APAC, I have to see that what we are doing in TAPA, we are developing kind of a lot of standards and the tools to help our business to develop our sustainability in supply chain. So I would appreciate that all our members will spend more time and effort in these standards as we are developing more to help the business to fight against the challenging situation now we are facing. Okay, thank you for your time. I'm honored to have you here. Thank you.